Okay, now I am about to take you guys on a little adventure. Today we will be exploring 3 different abandoned structures in the woods. This location right here is located about 25 miles south of Atlanta, Georgia. So come on, let's get into it. Okay, so first on our list is this very small building that sits in the middle of nowhere. As you can see, the roof has partially caved in. Not sure exactly what this was used for. We have some boards on the wall, some shelves. You have a chair right there. Sheetrock has just collapsed. You see the insulation. I'm really curious as to how long this has been out here and what exactly it was used for. You can tell this is very old. It's been here for a very long time. You have this board right here. It's, I guess, some type of medical use. You see like ankle bracelet, knee brace, holsteries, elastic holsteries, men's, women's. So different medical type of stuff. So it's definitely some type of commercial use, medical. Still not exactly sure. That's just some old stuff that I don't see nowadays. So not too familiar with that. But it's just very interesting to see things like this. That's a daycare over there. So we're out in the woods, but we're not just out in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, we have some boards on the wall. I guess I used to pin stuff up. Yeah, just very interesting to see this structure. Thankfully, I didn't run into any animals, no spiders, no homeless people. It's just too cold for all that. So nothing is currently living up in this little structure. As you go around back, we have some tires laying around. And as you look out, you can see hints of what used to be a deck out here. It's hard to really tell. I mean, you could kind of make it out. It's got snow everywhere and trees are down, but it used to be a deck back there. Now, directly behind the structure, you can see that we have a patio roof that has collapsed. We have some tires up under it. I believe this collapsed way before the snow fell. I have been out here before, and this had already collapsed, so the weight of the snow did not make this collapse. But yeah, we had a pretty nice sized little patio roof behind the structure. And here's one last look of the exterior as we head on over to our next location. Here we are at our second location, and this appears to have been some type of storage facility or a warehouse on a small scale. You can see we have a light switch right here, plug-ins with the wire sticking out. You have a screen door. So this, even though it's wide open now, you can tell this was a closed-in structure that you used to have to enter in through a door. It had electricity, and in a moment you'll see it had plumbing as well. Very interesting to see how this is just completely just falling apart. It's so old, very old. As we walk through, I want you to pay attention to some of the trees that have grown up through the middle of the structure since it has been abandoned, especially this pine tree right here in the middle. Look at the size of this tree. So you know this has been abandoned and just pretty much split open for a long amount of time for a tree that size to have grown up through the middle of the structure. Like that's an adult tree, huge tree. So this the amount of time that it takes for a tree to mature and get that big to have grown up through the middle. So you know this has been here for an extremely long time. When I first saw that little ventilation area up there, I was like, isn't a fan supposed to go in that? And then I looked down on the ground. I was like, oh, here's the fan. I guess that's what's supposed to go up there to ventilate the, I guess you could call it a warehouse. Pull air in or push air out, like almost like a greenhouse type of setup. And I don't know what that is. It's just random objects on the ground under the snow and leaves. A lot of cinder blocks and things just laying around. Here we have a faucet. And you know I had to test it out to see if it actually works, which I knew it wasn't gonna work. But wouldn't that be amazing if that actually turned on, even though it's below freezing outside? And this has been abandoned for decades, but it would just be crazy if that just would have turned on. You have a breaker box right here, but it used to, cut the electricity on and off with, control that. So we had some plumbing, we had some electricity, we have wires running everywhere. This pipe right here, I have no clue what that could have been used for. Maybe a sink or some type of bathroom setup, or was it natural gas? I don't know what that was for, but more pipes. Here we have this long shelf-like structure that ran along the perimeter of the interior, along the wall. All right, we have arrived to our last and most creepy structure. At least for me, this was the most creepy. Looking at it from afar, you can't tell now, but until I put the camera into this trailer, it was pitch black. So I was like, I don't know what is in there. I approached it very slowly. Thankfully, nothing was in there, nothing jumped out. But as you can see, this is some type of trailer that you can haul around. See spider webs and all kind of stuff, but nothing's in there. Everything is dead. It's below freezing. It's cold, thankfully. We do have some writing on the side. At the top, you can see it says Georgia Highway Express, I believe. Then it has some cities down there towards the bottom saying Macon, Dalton, Valdosta, Thomaston. But yeah, this is definitely very creepy. And it's kind of odd how someone just ditched this in the middle of the woods decades ago and is just sitting here. And I'm sure at some point, homeless people have lived in this. Animals have lived in there. But nothing's in there now. This is interesting. It appears to be a swing. Don't know how that got right there, where it came from, but you can see the chains connected to it. Just gonna leave that there. And yeah, maybe I'll look up the Georgia Highway Express and see if anything comes up, because it's just kind of odd how that's just sitting out there like that. And last but not least, we have this beautiful lake that's not too far away from where we were just at. But yeah, I appreciate you guys for joining me in this little adventure. This was such a magical experience, being out in the woods alone with all this snow covered everywhere. So just so beautiful, so serene, so peaceful, so quiet. This is something that I would pretty much only do in the wintertime or when there's snow on the ground. I don't like spiders, so I'm not trying to run into no spiders, and you won't really run into too much of anything, no bugs or nothing, when it's just cold outside and when you just have snow everywhere. It's just you, yourself, and these abandoned structures. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in, and maybe we can do this again sometime if it ever snows again in Georgia. But yeah, catch y'all next time.